welcome back to Green-Eyed Starlet. If you are new here, hello and welcome. My name is Brandy and I'm working to live a life worth living through art, movement, and exploration. So I think something that a lot of you probably know about me by now, but I haven't ever really dived into in this channel, is the fact that I am a yoga teacher. And because honestly, it is like a huge part of what makes up me, you know? I thought I would share with you guys 5 ways that yoga has changed my life. If that sounds like something you would be interested in watching, then please, please, please give this video a big thumbs up and keep watching. And now I'm sure there are probably hundreds upon thousands of articles and videos out there on the interwebs and probably in books, like real physical books. You guys remember those? Yeah, those are good. That talk about why yoga is good for you, good for me, good for the world, both from a scientific and a psychological perspective, probably other perspectives out there on why yoga is good for you. Because at the end of the day, yoga is a form of movement. It is good for the body. It brings down cortisol levels. It allows you to, mellow out. It also helps deal with a lot of trauma and stuff like that. But in today's video, I really want to focus on my personal journey with yoga and how it has changed my life as a whole. And I also want to say that these are only 5 ways that yoga has changed my life. I feel like yoga has completely altered my entire life, maybe even my entire life path to some extent. But these are probably like the top of the top, the 5 things that are like noticeable changes that I have witnessed in my life due to my yoga practice. So starting off with number 1, yoga has severely reduced my stress and anxiety. Now, something I haven't talked too much about on this channel in the past is that when I was a kid, and still to this day, but when I was a kid, I had severe anxiety. Like, at one point in my life, during probably my middle school years, I was to the point of like agoraphobia. Like, I did not want to leave the house, or if I did leave the house, I was always very anxious. I thought something bad was gonna happen. I would give myself stomach aches and stuff like that. And I used to have major panic attacks, like day, night, school, home. It could have been nothing, and for some reason I was triggered, and I really don't know where all of that stemmed from, but I feel like since I've been doing yoga in the past few years, I've seen a dramatic decrease in my panic attacks or my anxiety as a whole. In some ways, I think maybe I just grew out of my anxiety, but I also see where yoga has come in and been a help to that. And even with stress, like, I deal with stress a lot. I get very stressed out about little things, in my opinion, and I don't like that, but I feel like every time that I do commit to getting on the mat when I am stressed out, the stress just kind of melts away. Like last night, I did one of my friend Victoria's yoga classes. She lives in California and she has been doing Zoom yoga classes, and I did her yoga class, and it was a slow, deep stretch, which is exactly what I needed, and I felt like all of my stress of the day had just washed away, and I was like at a 10 on the stress level before that class. So yoga has definitely 100% been a way for me to mellow out, to just kind of relax, to allow the stress to just go away, just melt away. And I think that is a huge benefit of yoga, because I am also a huge believer in the fact that stress kills, and I know I get stressed out a lot, and I don't want stress to take a toll on my health and on my body and, limit me from doing all of the things that I want to do, because I want to do a lot of things. Number 2, it has helped me connect with my body. Now, I think I associate this change a little bit more with the certification I got in yoga teaching, but I feel like yoga as a whole has made me a lot more in tune with my body. I absolutely love the fact that when I go to the chiropractor now, I can be like, hey, yeah, I feel like, in my lumbar spine, I feel like, my SI joint is kind of catching and this, that, and the other. And I like being able to kind of use those big words and stuff like that and know what parts of my body on a, physiological level, is that the right word? I'm pretty sure that's the right word. What's going on? And for me, I feel like when I was growing up, I was so out of tune with my body. I still sometimes feel like I'm out of tune with my body. I think that it is like something that I'm constantly working at and constantly trying to listen to. And it comes down to even things of like when I feel tired, actually listening to my body and like giving it rest. Or when I feel like I have been, sludging around on the couch for too long, giving it some movement, giving it some activity to do. I definitely am very aware of, certain pains in the body, or when I feel like I desperately need to stretch. I just feel like yoga has made me become aware of like, oh, this feels weird. why does this feel weird? And then how can I make it not feel weird? Does that make sense? I feel like I say, does that make sense? At least once in every single video. The third way yoga has changed my life is making meditation more accessible to me. Now, I have struggled all my life with meditation. My mom used to meditate like every day after work when we were kids, and we kind of made jokes about it because me and my brother weren't really into all of that stuff at the time, but like I don't know how she did it, because all my life I have had a really big struggle with meditation. I think I'm still struggling with meditation on a day-to-day basis. I don't have a firm grasp on my practice yet, but I'm getting there. Every day is just a little bit better, and that's all I can ask for, I guess. But I feel like yoga as a whole was the first like opening of a door into my meditation practice that had been closed for years. And the reason I say this is I feel like personally the best meditation that I get, or the best meditative state that I can get into, is after yoga. Now, if you've ever taken a yoga class, you know at the end of almost every yoga class you will go into Shavasana, or corpse pose. This pose, my first yoga class, I was like, we're just laying on our backs. But even though it was my first yoga class, I like fell into, maybe fell is not the best word, I like drifted. There we go, that sounds more, you know, woohoo, I don't know. But I definitely drifted into a more meditative state than I had ever reached before. And when I came out of that Shavasana, like when the teacher led us back to our bodies and back into the moment in the space, and we came out of it to close out the practice, I was like, yo, is this what I've been missing out on this whole time? I don't know what it is. I mean, I guess actually yoga was pretty much created to help with this, to do this, because yoga was created in a way to marry your breath to your movement so that you could bring your mind back to the body a little bit more and kind of get yourself out of your head and into your body, if that makes sense. But I just never really believed it until it happened for me, and I feel like the best meditative states that I've ever been in have been after really amazing yoga classes where the Shavasana is just perfectly, you know, set up, and I just like kind of sink into it, drift off into my Shavasana, and then I come back. That's another thing though, is like I need a good Shavasana. And I feel like in my live classes lately, I feel like I'm like, 3 minutes is just not enough. Normally, if I'm doing like an hour and 15-minute class, I'll do a like 5 to 7 minute Shavasana for my students. And I know some people don't like that, but man, Shavasana is where it's at for me. Like I don't come for Shavasana. Well, I guess I do kind of come for Shavasana. Like I come for the poses that lead up to Shavasana, and then the Shavasana is just like that. I'm there, you know? I'm like, I'm in the moment, I'm feeling it. So it has definitely helped me transition into a better meditative practice. It's also given me more breath exercises to work with in my meditation, and I think that's helped me really kind of calm my mind down. Like I said, it's still not perfect. I don't know if it will ever be perfect. Probably not, because perfection is something that I don't know if it actually exists, but it definitely helps me out a lot. And I think that first class when I was like, is this what meditating is like? And then like having that feeling come back again and again during each class or at the end of each class has just been like, oh, this is what I've been missing out on. Oh. The fourth way yoga has changed my life is that it has given me something to continuously study. Now, I am a huge believer in continuous learning. I believe that every day we should learn something new, just a little bit, you know, one fact, one thing, you know, just continuing our growth and our learning is very important to me. And I think when I first started yoga, it was something that I had never tried before. I started in college, so like I hadn't grown up doing it for sure. And it was just like, wow, there's so much to learn here. And then when I did my teacher training, I even learned more, and there's like things like the chakra systems and, you know, poses and alignment was huge, and also learning about like the skeletal bones here and stuff like that, things that I never learned in school because I was a theater major, you know, but things that were so interesting and things that I carry with me in everyday life to this day. I mean, even learning the sutras was so cool. I kind of want to reread some of those because I feel like I haven't touched them since I got my certificate, and they're just really cool things to learn. And like I said, I'm just a huge nerd. I really enjoy learning in a non-competitive way, you know what I mean? Like, I don't like being graded. I don't want to be given homework to do that I'm gonna be graded on. I just like learning. So things like yoga has been so cool because even as a yoga teacher, I feel like I'm constantly learning. I love taking other teachers' classes because the way that they speak or the way that they have sequenced a class or just the way that they flow the body into each pose, like, oh, it's so cool to see other people work and stuff like that and be able to use that in my own practice and share it with other people as I'm going as well. I also think that there's so many different forms of yoga too that like once you finish learning all you can possibly learn about one specific type of yoga, which I don't know if you could ever learn everything you could possibly know about one type of yoga, you could always learn a new type of yoga, whether that be Kundalini or Bikram or Ashtanga, like whatever you choose. Like, it's so cool that there's just so much to learn, and I really like that. I like learning, you know, and it's given me a really cool thing to focus on as I'm learning. And the fifth way that yoga has changed my life is that it has given me the confidence to find my own voice. Now, like I said before, I went to school for theater. I've been acting and, you know, performing for probably my entire life. I've kind of been like that kind of goofy kid who just wants to put on plays for her parents all her life. And so even though I've been speaking in front of people all my life, I've not been afraid to, you know, get up on a stage. Being person to person has always been something that kind of freaked me out. Like, public speaking was way different than performing to me, because like when I'm performing, I'm a different person, but public speaking is me, and like if someone doesn't like it, then they don't like me. I've always assumed that if someone didn't like a character I was playing, it wasn't because they didn't like me, they just didn't like the character. So being in yoga and teaching yoga and being in the yoga community has really helped me find a confidence in myself. I mean, even to the flexibility, and that's not like one of the biggest things that I hold up on this list, obviously, because I haven't really mentioned it, but obviously I've gotten more flexible throughout my practice, and that has just shown me that my body is there for me and can move and grow with me at all times and is going to be there to support me. And like that confidence, knowing that your body is always going to be there to support you, is like the coolest feeling ever. But it has also helped me find my voice, because when I'm teaching, I for the longest time was like, there's no way. Even when I was getting my yoga teacher certification, I wasn't completely sold on the fact of teaching. I was doing it more because I wanted to deepen my practice for just me, you know? And as I slowly was taking more and more classes and I was learning more, I was like, maybe I can do this, maybe I can do that. And then when I finally started, you know, teaching in the workshops and stuff like that, and then I actually started teaching in a studio, I was just blown away by how much I learned and how much I grew and how secure I was in my own voice. Now, does that mean that I don't stumble over my words? Obviously you watch my videos, so I clearly still stumble over my words with my videos, or when I'm teaching yoga, I stumble over my words all the time. I might say the wrong word. When I'm mirroring people, I might say right instead of left, or left instead of right, but I feel so much more secure in talking in front of people and being able to stand in front of people and, you know, show them some poses and teach them some poses. And I think a lot of that does stem from the yoga community. Like, after I finish teaching classes, I try to, you know, say goodnight and thank you to everybody in the room, and just being able to, you know, come up to someone and be like, thank you for coming to the class and this, that, and the other, and just getting to hear their feedback on the classes and stuff has just really skyrocketed my confidence and my ability to talk in front of people, which I didn't know that would be a thing that would happen because of yoga, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, the confidence in my own body I can kind of see and expect from a yoga practice, but, you know, feeling comfortable in my own skin and verbalizing my feelings and emotions on a grander scale, I think that has been something that I really, really find valuable in my yoga practice. Well, that was the top 5 ways that yoga has changed my life so far. I feel like, you know, number 6, if I was going to make a number 6, is that it has taught me that life and everything in life is a process, and so is this. So I'm so excited to see, you know, in the next 2, 3, 4, 5, 20 years, what more things yoga brings into my life and teaches me and helps me, you know, change and grow and learn from. I am so excited to honestly have gotten to talk about this subject to you guys. I've actually filmed a similar video to this before, like months and months and months ago, and I literally just never edited it or uploaded it. So I felt like it needed a revamping, and I feel like I talked about a lot of weird stuff in that video, including like how I got into yoga, which if you guys would like to see how I actually started my yoga journey and like what got me into yoga in the first place, I would love to make that video for you guys, so let me know if you want that. But yeah, let me know if you guys practice yoga or if you've ever done yoga before. Do you like it? Do you not like it? And if you guys have any questions or concerns or words of wisdom, always feel free to leave those in the comment box down below, because I would love to see them. And I've been trying to respond to you guys' comments as quickly and as often as I possibly can. So definitely leave a comment down below and we can get to chit-chatting. And if you guys enjoyed today's video, please make sure to give it a big thumbs up and hit that subscribe button if you're not already. I post videos every Wednesday and Saturday, sometimes Mondays, not committing, but sometimes Mondays, and you don't want to miss out on a single one. There have been so many new sparrows joining the ranks here, and it's made me so happy. If you didn't know, I'm working to regain my partnership status with YouTube, which means I need to get up to 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time, and you guys have been so amazing helping me out on that. So just one singular watch of a video all the way through, maybe you watch another video after that, hitting that subscribe button, sharing the videos, hitting the like button, it means so much to me and is helping the channel out more than you could ever know, and it makes me so happy. So thank you guys for all that you are doing. I really appreciate you guys. As always, I hope you have a great day, a great week, and I will see you soon. Bye!